Okay, so I've got my ones, the Cria are in their feeding pen, and I've got a little pen on the side where we just do nice handling. I don't do any medications or anything here. This is just for handling and halter training. So I'm going to move the three that I want, Apollo, Galaxy and Dasher, are these three, into the pen. They're generally pretty good at going in because they're then let out the other side. As I say, we only ever do nice things in here. Don't want this one. Move this one out. Okay, so as I said, when you come into a pen with your animals, always just stand, calm down, breathe for a minute, just have a look at how they're doing. And then, now remember that these guys have been worked with for months, every week, a few times a week, even every day. So I'm going to very quickly show how you would start, but this would take like months to get to the point of just putting the head collars on. So the first time I put them into a pen, or when you take them home, I'm sorry, the rain is really loud, so I'm shouting. When you take them home, just put them in the little pen for a minute like this and then let them out. The second time, you might just come up and just do a touch on the neck, just for each one, and then let them out. So that would be, you might do that a few times. Then, so remember, you're always standing behind the eye so that they feel like they've got an escape route. If they're standing, next to another alpaca, that's fine. They're not a threat. So do you remember the first hold? So hand on the back of the neck, hand coming up onto the chin, hand on the back of the neck, your fingers are out, and then on the chin. Absolutely no pressure, and I'm still slightly behind his eye. My knees are bent, I'm totally relaxed, and there's absolutely no pressure. And at this point, my fingers are out, so I've just got these fingers on the neck and likewise at the front. So that's your basic bracelet hold that you'd use for most things. There is, just while I'm here, if you are doing meditations, you might go into this hold, shuffle forward a bit, hand on here, you move your body forward, so the hand is very gently on the cheek, this hand very gently on the shoulder, and you just pull them against you. Anytime they're still, you completely release your hold. It's only if they're being fringe trimmed or something, you might slightly tighten it if you need to keep them still for a second. But anytime they're relaxed, you completely relax. That's their reward for being still. Dasher's a really good boy. Okay, so I've done all this. I've done that loads of times. Sorry, I'm just going to quickly show you. Before you move on to head collaring, you're in bracelet hold, and you'll do a little bit of, it's called T-touch, 1.5 circles just around the back of their head, and also a little bit around their nose, so they just get used to feeling things and you doing things around their head. So again, this would be a few weeks you'd do all of this before you move on to the head collaring. Head collaring, sorry, it's got jammed in here. You would start the head collaring with the big strap and you just show it to them. That might be all you do on the first time you introduce a head collar. Just do that to all of them and then let them out. Your second or third day, and if at any point they start getting antsy, you go back 3 steps and start again. So your second day, you might just do that. And you've got your big hoop, big inviting loop. Then you might just touch it on their nose like that and off again. And you keep doing that until they're totally comfortable with it. After that, you've got it in your pocket, like so. So it's easy to get out. You go back into your hole. So sorry, I'll do it properly for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go, and keep this hand on the back of the head. Sorry, just another quick thing. If you've got an animal that isn't quite as easy as Dasher, or it's earlier on, you can use your halter helper. So this, you can just drop This, sorry, this one's actually not working. You have to get this one out. So you just drop this over the neck, and then you clip it on a little bit higher around the neck like this. So he's been really good. It's a little bit tight for him. And then you've got that, and you can hold this like this, and he can move off. You can just drop it, and you've just got it, and then you can introduce the head collar much more easily. So he's been so good. I would never do it this long normally on a Cria, but he is exceptionally good. He's had quite a bit of training, and I'm just doing it to demonstrate. Normally never ever spend this long. So with a halter helper, I don't have to hold his head. I've just got it very loosely here. Hold the head collar by the ring on the side, so you've got the biggest aperture available. And then again, now you've got a smaller nose, you're just gonna never rush, always just wait for them. Just pop it on his nose and off again a few times. I don't want to keep doing stuff with him because it's a bit unfair. So imagine you've popped it on his nose, off again a few times. You don't put your hand over the top. This hand puts the strap round the back of the neck. You pick it up with this finger. Get your other hand this side and do it up. Now remember what we talked about with the head collar fit. It is absolutely vitally important, if Tom comes to the front, that this nose band is not so low that it's not on the nose bone, which stops literally where the where this nose strap is. That's literally almost the end of his nose bone. So if it was any lower, now I would never walk a Cria just because head collars don't really fit them very well. Even these extremely good Zephyr ones from the Canada Dynamics, they still only just fit properly. And this is obviously a small, and I'm checking that it's sat right on both sides. I can just get a finger underneath here, and I can just get a finger under the nose strap. If you can't, you need to adjust it. You would take it off and you'd adjust it, and pop it on again. But that is your head collar, and you've been amazing, Dasha. Thank you. Just very quickly, you remember the leading, so imagine this is a lead rope. So again, I wouldn't be doing this with Cria. I'd be doing it with older animals. You don't really start leading. And just remember that to lead them, you stand slightly to this side, and you're doing this very gentle ratcheting. He hasn't had this before, so he just takes, he's going to be really good. As soon as they take a step, you release, even if it's a tiny one at the beginning. And you're just getting them used to that slightly. And he took a step, and I immediately released. But I've got another video which shows more about walking. So taking head collars off, you might try and turn him around. Remember to turn an animal around. You don't manhandle them or push them. You just move them around the pen. I'm just going to slightly nudge him around from his friend here, or not. He doesn't want to. The trouble is they're quite used to us, so okay, I'm going to take this head collar off here so that you can see what I'm doing with this hand. So to take the head collar off, again, I'm pushing against my hand so there's no pressure on his head. I've taken this off, I hold onto the buckle, I move this hand to here. I put my thumb in here, I'm holding onto the head strap with these fingers. I put my thumb in here, I very gently hook that over his nose, and I keep hold of the halter here till he's really calm, and then I gently take it off and release. And I'm just going to do the same with a handler helper. If they want to move, just let them move. Move with them. Don't ever force them. The whole point, remember, is that they don't feel restrained. They're always happy. They're always calm. And if they want to walk around for 5 minutes, just let them. Or you probably would let them out. If they're having a particularly antsy day, just let them out and do it again another day. And go back 5 steps. and just build it up again.